Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the SH Figuarts UCHIHA ITACHI figure from Naruto, which not necessarily my favorite anime or manga in the world, but the figures have been somewhat decent in recent releases and not so great before, but this guy's pretty good. I have to say, he's not too bad. And I think most of you Naruto fans will probably like him, though you may get mad at me at some point throughout this review. So anyway, let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 15 centimeters, a little bit over. Of course, that depends on how you have him posed, which makes him just about 5 3/4 inches, just a tiny bit above that. So pretty standard size, not too little. That's pretty good. Paint job on this guy is surprisingly good in most cases. I'll point out right now, the chest is done very well. Now the skin tone is not exactly the right color to match the molded plastic of the head and arms and neck, but it's not too bad. The necklace is painted well, this mesh is painted pretty well. The belt is okay, and then the paint job for his socks is okay. The feet are terrible. It's fuzzy looking paint, and it's just little circles for his painted toenails. I'm not going to comment on that. They did paint his fingernails also. These aren't the best hands to show that, but the other ones have them on there. And the ring. The ring is very nicely done, so I'm happy about that. Headband is also painted pretty nicely. Sculpt-wise, it looks pretty good. Not too bad, other than in terms of articulation, which we will get to. Okay, so accessories. We have 4 total faces. We have the one standard face with the eyes open, one face where he's kind of smiling, I guess, with his eyes closed, one that looks maybe kind of startled, and then one where he's yelling with his eyes open. For the hands, we have the 2 fist hands that come on him in the package, one pointing finger hand, one instant transmission hand, 2 hands that are kind of like instant transmission, but are probably more for like a martial arts type of pose, or I don't know, like, does this guy do magic? Maybe he's got magic. He wears a bathrobe, so he might do magic. So he's got those kind of hands. His 2 open style pose hands. Then he does have one extra hand, which is connected to his bathrobe, which is an accessory, which is, it's pretty well done. The paint job on it's not bad, but the fact that the sleeves are just covered over looks really bad. You do have to interchange or take off his arms in order to put on the bathrobe. But it's not a bad setup. It's okay. I do wish the hand that's connected to the bathrobe actually looked like it had an arm going to it rather than just a hunk of plastic. But that's it for accessories. Not a ton, but probably enough. It's not too bad. And I guess you could consider his ponytail an accessory. It does bother me that the ponytail just pegs in with a little square tab. It doesn't have any posability at all. And that's a big bummer. Now, as far as articulation goes, this guy has a ball hinge on top of his neck, so it's a straight peg going into the neck, ball hinge, and then a ball peg on top of that. So you can move the head around very well on top of the neck. It works very nicely, so that's good. The neck is on a ball peg. For the shoulders, we have a butterfly joint, which you would think is good. It actually works nicely. It looks good from the front. It looks pretty good from the back-ish. But here's the thing. The ball peg that the shoulder is connected to, so a ball peg goes into the butterfly, then we have a ball hinge, then the shoulder moves around on that, which is fine, except it's recessed in the butterfly joint. So when you bring it forward, you can't bring the arm across. It's too far inside that joint. You can still only raise the arm perfectly out forward, which you can pretty much do from the side, only you can't because it's designed poorly. So if they didn't have the butterfly joint, it wouldn't need it. Does that make any sense? It didn't need it at all because it only allows standard posability. It's very, very strange that they made it so complex. The ball hinge inside the joint does work nicely as long as you're careful how to use it because it's offset in this piece and in this piece. Looks very good from a standard pose though, so I do like that. And then of course your more reasonable poses will be just fine. No issues there. You do have your bicep swivel built into all of that, so it's somewhat limited, but you can rotate it pretty well. It's not so bad. It's okay. You have a double jointed elbow, which works pretty nicely. You can bring the arm up pretty far, and it doesn't look too bad, so that's good. For the wrist, we have a ball hinge with just straight pegs on either end, but you get really nice range out of that. For the upper torso, I'm not entirely sure what's in there. Since I'm borrowing this figure, I can't try to take it apart to check, but it feels like there's a hinge and a ball peg combination. So you can lean it pretty far back. Be aware that there is a gap when you do that. You can lean it a little bit forward, but it's really stiff and does create a gap again. And then it does lean side to side very nicely, so that's good. Almost no rotation though. You're gonna have to use the lower torso for the rotation, which works just fine. And it does have a little bit of play. It's a ball peg, so that's pretty good. His little skirt thing is kind of a soft plastic and it is separated on the sides, but it's not separated enough and it's not soft enough to really allow the hips to do too much. So you do have the hinged ball pegs. You can bring them down for extra range of motion, but it still doesn't afford very much. You can't bring the legs out to the side very far, and you can't bring them forward that far either. That's with them all the way down. So if you put them all the way up so they don't look dislocated, that's as far as you're going to get it. So it's pretty limited for a guy who is, I'm guessing, a ninja. Aren't all of the Naruto people ninjas? I think they are. We have a thigh swivel in there that works pretty nicely, I guess, so that's good. Double jointed knee gives you good range. Not the best knee design, to be honest. It really should be sculpted in here, having cloth on both ends of that knee joint, and then just having a smooth piece of plastic for the knee joint. Not very aesthetically pleasing. For the ankle, we have a nice ball hinge, which works pretty well. You can bring the foot pretty far forward, pretty far back, and you can rotate it around nicely for an ankle rocker. That's a good thing. And then we have a toe hinge, which actually works pretty well. I like that toe hinge for the most part. So, other than the shoulders being a little bit weird and the hips not being able to do too much, it's not too bad. I think it's probably one of the better Naruto figures, even though I get the feeling he's supposed to be a lot more imposing looking. He looks kind of like a badass on the box, and then it just doesn't look very much like a badass on the figure. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not going to go watch Naruto to try to figure out his character motives and things like that. You guys can let me know what you think about the likeness. It looks close enough from what I've seen, but you guys are going to know that way more than me since I haven't watched 8 million episodes of Naruto, and I'm guessing if you're going to buy this, you've probably at least seen half of them. So it's not bad. It's actually a pretty solid figure, so I would give it the go-ahead if you're interested. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff, so make sure you come back for that. Click the notification button, click the thumbs up button, and in the meantime, keep collecting.